So those areas are learning about learning. How do people learn? And remember, this isn't just talking about students, it's talking about ourselves. The whole idea of how do we foster inclusive collaboration? You know, because that's the thing. For us to really achieve that vision for success, we have to be able to work across all kinds of areas, between all kinds of staff, etc. Right? And then, how do we build in student perspective and participation? That they should be, is it the mission thing? They should be at the table. Wait, not on the table. Right? Okay.
Participation. Thank you.
Yes. The other thing is that what we feel very strongly about, and this also was evidenced by you all. You'll remember that you went through Be Silly, those of you who did, and at the end of that time, we also did what was called a value creation. You know, you did a rubric. You know, we introduced to you that kind of framework from our friend Wanger and Company, which basically gets at how do we see if what we are doing together shows some kind of value. How would we recognize that? So when we talk about the artifacts, essentially that rubric is what we're going to be using to see what kind of evidence of getting value out of the learning is there. And you should recognize this. When you all filled out the rubrics, and we all spent, the coordinators, we've done 3 extensive retreats this summer. And we came back to your value narratives again and again. And when we analyze them, which we feel very good about, the thing overwhelmingly that you got out of the Be Silly thing was building relationships, right? And also this, that you felt like you had more knowledge capital. There's things that you were exposed to and started to learn about that you felt that you could use or you could share with others. That's very important, both of those 2 things. And I know there's a whole continuum. You know, we want to get to that thing at the end that Lars points out, that's the real big vision, which is like the vision for success, where we transform the way we look at everything. But for our year this year, we are very much focusing on this because we feel, just as in the AI framework, remember the pyramid, that the bottom part, building those relationships, is a really key thing. And of course, the only way that you're really going to get to this kind of immediate and the capital is that we have to know what we don't know. I mean, how many of you in this room feel like you know everything that we need to do for 705 or guided pathways? Or we don't. We may feel like we have colleagues who think they do, but basically we're entering a whole new territory, and furthermore, it's going to be different in each campus, right? So how do we help build your capacity and have some experiences happen? And that's what we're trying to, in your events at your campus and in the ones that we're doing, have these 3 things built in, okay? So